shot of Tina to begin with, as is the tradition, although she's trying to hide from me. Typical. Okay, let's put the attention where it belongs, on me. Okay folks, welcome to the channel, Down and Out in Torrevieja with me, Delta Mike. This is the weekly roundup show where I summarise the week's events and give pointers to the videos from the week for anyone who hasn't got the time or inclination to keep up to date with all the videos through the week as they happen. I know to begin with I'm being a little bit prolific, but that's in part because that's what YouTube kind of expects. That's what YouTube needs if you're going to make a start and get any kind of impact. So the rate of videos will slow down over time. It'll probably end up as 2 or 3 per week in time, or maybe that will be 2 or 3 standard videos plus this weekly summary. So where to begin? So last Sunday I recorded the last of these weekly recaps, and as I knew was going to happen, at just after midnight I lost my internet connection because it expired. I'm on a pay-as-you-go contract, and as I said at the time, after recording this chat, it's kind of then a race against time to get it edited and uploaded before I lost connection. And that's what happened. I didn't successfully get it uploaded in time, which actually I think is probably a good thing. I'm not sure that uploading a long video at midnight or 1 in the morning, I don't think that's good for YouTube's algorithm, because for the first 10 hours my video is going to sit there unwatched, and that sends the wrong signal to YouTube. So in future I probably will upload these and most videos probably mid to late morning the following day. I think that's sensible. So, before we get into it in any real depth, I just want to do a couple of kind of housekeeping things. I listened to people. People were telling me to get a PayPal account, to get an Amazon wish list, and a Gmail account for people to contact me directly if they so needed. And I've done all of those things. I already had the Gmail account. That was part of setting up the phone. But I'm now publishing the details. The details of those three things. The links for those are going to be in the descriptions below every video from now on, or most, when I remember. The email address is simple enough. That's Delta Mike Torrevieja, all one word, @gmail.com. So if anybody needs or wants to contact me, if anybody's got ideas, suggestions, anybody wants to contact me before coming to the camp to make sure that I'm here, because obviously we've had a few people recently come to the camp and they've missed me. I've been out and about for one reason or another. You know, it might be useful just to send an email and confirm that I'm going to be here, or let me know that you're coming. Let me tidy the place up a bit, maybe. I doubt it, but at least gives me the possibility. So that's the Gmail. The PayPal account I've set up. There'll be a link to that, and so anyone who's ever inclined, it's not necessary. It's not required. But if anybody wants to send a few euros, a few pounds, a few dollars, it'd be appreciated, and it'll help me out with various things. For example, my gas, the small bottles of they're propane butane mix, aren't they? The camping gas things. That just ran out while I was trying to do something. Not a biggie. I'm actually barbecuing a few baked potatoes again, a few jacket potatoes. And Owen suggested last week, never heard this before in my life. I go off on a tangent again here. So jacket potatoes, all my life I've just put them in the oven. I mean, it's what you do. You just put them in, or maybe put them in tin foil and put them in a real fire or whatever. He suggested boiling them for 10 minutes first. I thought I'd give it a try. But I did one lot, and then I did a second batch, and the gas ran out just as the water got hot. So I just left them set in the water for a little while, see whether they get any benefit from that. But it's something that, what am I, I'm 50, I'll be 55 later this year. And I've never heard the suggestion before of boiling the potatoes before baking them. I've heard that for chips, although that was a fairly recent thing. And obviously if you want to do roast potatoes, where you put them in fat in the oven, boiling them first and scuffing the outsides, that's fairly standard. But I got to be this age before hearing anybody suggest boiling them first for jacket potatoes. So that's something. But anyway, going back to my original thing, PayPal. If anybody wants to send me any money to help so that I can buy things like gas or top up my phone. Going back to that, see what I'm doing? I'm going back because I've spun off on tangents from tangents. I did get the more expensive package on the phone this month. Last month I was kind of using up what I consider to be kind of my personal allowance. The data I need for watching YouTube and downloading podcasts. I was using that for uploading the videos, and it left me a bit behind with my video watching. So whereas previously I'd been paying €10 a month for a package with a certain number of calls and texts, and it was 20 gigabytes of data plus the same again for free. That was the €10 package. This time I got €15 package, which doubled everything. 40 gigabytes of data plus 40 free, so 80 gigabytes in total. So that's nearly 3 gigabytes a day. And what that does, not only allows me to upload these videos and have data for myself, but it allows me to upload these videos at a higher quality and in a larger form factor, a larger resolution, a larger size. So YouTube recommend at least 720p for the picture size, and I've been going down to 640 and even 460 in order to keep the data usage down. Well, now I can be a little bit more. I can't ignore the limitations altogether, but I can at least on occasions follow YouTube's guidelines and actually upload at 720p. So that's good. So yeah, YouTube, PayPal. There should be a link in the description for each video from now on. And I'm trying to integrate a button for it on my channel page. So if you click there, so under this video where you see the down and out in Torrevieja with Delta and Mike, where you see that, that's a clickable link to the channel page where you can access all the videos that I've got. Full length videos, shorts, playlists. So some of the videos, all of the cooking videos are in one playlist, so you can easily get from one to another. Likewise, these weekly summaries, these weekly recaps are in their own separate playlist. But on that page, on my channel's page, there should be a link to the PayPal page as well, and likewise a link to the Amazon wish list, which is just experimental. So some people don't know what that is. It allows me to make a list of things that other people like you, could buy for me. You buy them, pay for them, and they get sent to me. I'm a little bit. We had that conversation last week. It's a bit begging, isn't it? It's a bit. But I do have I do, like we were just saying about gas bottles. I do have a requirement. So if anybody wants to help out, I've preloaded it with a few products, and alongside each product should be a little description of how urgently I need it, how many I need, and a little discussion from me about, you know, why I need it, or so some things I've gone for a basic product, and I might put a more expensive or a better option in there as well, and the little discussion piece, you know, it says why the better one might be better, or I don't know, you know. There's a gas bottle one there where it's loaded up with Christ knows how many gas bottles, like an infeasibly large number of gas bottles. And I've put that in the list, not because I expect anybody to buy me 50 of these little camping gas bottles. That's not the idea. It's so that you can see the price per bottle when you buy in bulk compared to when you buy 1, 2, 3, 4. It's as much just for me for comparison as anything, and it says that in the blurb that I've added. Okay, that's the housekeeping out of the way. So we did Sunday. We've done the housekeeping. Monday, as I just said, I had to go to the shop and walk in and pay for the phone credit, which I did. And while I was down that way, because it's kind of half a kilometre that way towards town, I then crossed over and went and sat on the benches, overlooking the sea, overlooking the cliff, you know, on the top of the cliffs, looking down on the sea and at the view. And I did some shots there. I think I did a little speech, a little piece to camera like this, just talking about things. And on the way home, I did shots at various other locations on the way home, again with the views and what have you. Then I came home and I had to go into the tent for something. I can't remember what now. Maybe to put some money away or something. You know, the change from the shop. I went in there and looked at the clock, which has got a thermometer built in, and so the ungodly temperature, was it 47 or 48 degrees inside the tent, because it had been closed, because I'm away, I close it generally. So I did just a quick, less than 1 minute, one of those YouTube shorts that they do. I'm not a big fan, but if you don't publish a few, YouTube don't like you as much, and so they don't push your videos out there. So you got to play the game. You got to make some shorter videos and some longer ones and mix it up a bit. So I just did one about the temperature in the oven, in the tent. And then because it was so hot here, obviously, like I just said, the heat in the tent, but it's camp. There's no real shade here. Tina finds little bushes that she can get under, and there are some trees over there that sometimes she'll go over to. But I need some shade as well sometimes. And we've been to the same park 3 or 4 times on video now. So we went to a different park. We went up to Torre Del Moro, and because it's at the top of a hill, you get fantastic views. But what I hadn't appreciated previously, and I've been there a few times, even before I was homeless, it's a place I've been, but I don't think I've ever been there in the baking summer when the heat's full on. And I was kind of taken aback that none, and I mean literally none, of the benches up there, none of the big stone or concrete chairs, none of those seats is in the shade. So I had to perch under a tree for an hour or two, just on the ground under a tree, until the sun did work around and a little bit of shade went on one of the chairs. But we did. The video was mainly for the views, and I did a quick walk around the tower. Very juddery because I was walking, and I don't know if you've ever seen people who take videos while they walk. If you're going to do it properly, you buy a thing called a gimbal, which is like a computerized stick thing that you attach your camera or your phone, and this thing stabilizes and keeps pointing in the right. Even when you twist like that or tilt, like, it keeps pointing where it's meant to be. Yeah, those are clever, but those are, those are for professionals. Those are not for tramps. So my video was a little bit, I maybe should have stopped and got settled and maybe put my elbow on something and stabilise. But then I've got a dog pulling at me as well, so I don't know. That doesn't necessarily work. But I liked the video. I was quite happy with that video. And it performed okay for the first day and a half. It quickly shot up to kind of 70 or 80 views. And then the next day it just stalled entirely. YouTube had moved on. They've moved on to fresher content. Someone else must have released something newer and better, or better in their eyes. Which is a pattern. I mean, I'm still considered a new channel, so it's a pattern with most of my videos. They get up to 100, maybe 150. On an exceptional video, I'll get up to 200, and then it kind of stalls. And over the next week, you might get 50 more or 100 more. I think I'm still waiting. My top video of all time has been stuck somewhere between 390 and 400 for a good couple of weeks now. And that was the one where it was a whole day, but it's the one where the tent went up halfway through the day. And then I had to deconstruct the old shelter and the old bed. And I brought everything out, moved the tent across and moved everything in. So that got quite a bit of interest, and that's hovering, I think, at 397 at the minute, 397 or 398 views, which is not bad for some homeless guy. It's a start, and we can build from there. As more people come in, as other people discover the channel, I can obviously signpost them back to those earlier videos with the tarpaulin and with when the tent first arrived. So I expect that video will stay as my top video for quite some time. Yeah. So then we headed back from there, and I did a few shots of the views again from a slightly different angle from over the road, the views out to see coming back to camp. Give me a second, I've just got to check on something. Back in a moment. And I'm back. Okay, guys. That's going to be my catchphrase, isn't it? Okay, guys. I might just start putting that as text on the thumbnail on every video. The dog has been suspiciously quiet, and I needed to check the baked potatoes on the barbecue. I'm following some advice I received from Owen, guy in the comments on a video who came to the camp one day, visited, helps me out quite a bit. He suggested that instead of just using the gas, it's a gas grill, gas barbecue, instead of just using the gas, to use the gas to burn, to fire up some charcoal, get that going, and then you can turn the gas off and keep the temperature up in the oven, but without using the gas, which I'm going to try. I mean, to be honest, charcoal's probably more expensive than gas per hour of heating a barbecue, I would imagine. I'm not sure how much it is now. You get 3 kilograms in a bag of charcoal. I'm not sure how much it is, 2.5, 3, 4 euros, I don't know. And that'll give you, what, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours of barbecue, so kind of somewhere between 50 cents and €1 per hour. I'm guessing, I'm back of the envelope calculations without an envelope. I'm not sure what I'm not sure of the economy of the gas bottles. I guess it depends how much they are. Somewhere between 20, I'm not sure, somewhere between 15 and 25 euros a bottle, and you get 50 or 60 hours of burning out of a bottle. I read somewhere. So the economics probably work out about the same, do they? 50 cents an hour ish. There's all sorts of variability in there, though, isn't there? I'm not sure. I'd have to start with a new bottle and record all the hours it gets used and whether it's on low or high. But anyway, that's what I was doing. I was checking the dog, checking the barbecue and the potatoes, and a quick refresh of my note. Quick look at my notes, because these days all merge into one after a while. I can remember the events of this week mainly, but I can't remember what day each thing happened. So after we came out, we're still on Monday. It was a productive day in the end. 3 or 4 videos. Some released, some made that day, recorded and edited. We came back from Torre Del Moro, and there was a food delivery waiting. And I guessed it was from the same people who delivered some food on the Friday of the week before. But I couldn't be certain. But there was one clue. The amount of bread. This was the beginning of what I've come to call the Breadpocalypse. I'm at the stage where I'm trying to force bread down, trying to come up with meal ideas or food ideas that are bread, and trying to use up stale bread, and not just stale, I mean totally rock hard, not just a little bit past its best or a little bit dry, but actually policeman's truncheon kind of hard or dry. And I'm thankful for the help. I am. I'm thankful for the intention of the help. And there's always some nice cake as well, which, I make sure to eat first. Always had a sweet tooth. But also, from a kind of a utilitarian perspective, or economical. I'm fairly sure that the bread costs less per loaf or per unit of weight, per kilo, per 100 grams, whatever. I'm sure the bread is valued less than the cake. So if you've got a choice of what are you going to use first, this is my excuse, this is how I justify it, you got to go with the cake, haven't you? It's rational. It's a rational choice. It's the only rational decision to use the cake. To use the cake up because it's got the higher monetary value, and probably the higher caloric value. If you're trying to maintain your weight, if you're trying to not lose any more weight, and I've covered this in the past, dropping from 100 kilograms to below 70, 67 I think it was when I weighed. I've gone from, technically, according to the body mass index charts, I was in the obese category before, which I never agreed with, but I mean I was only just in there by 1 or 2. I think it's above 30, is it? A body mass of above 30, the class as obese, and I was 31.5 or 32. Now I'm right down. I can't remember. It's in one of the videos somewhere. I did the calculations and put them on screen. I'm right in the normal healthy range now, which I object to and I don't want to be. I think I'm too skinny. I always enjoyed having shoulders and a bit of a chest, a bit, you know. Okay, I had to put up with having a belly to go with it, and that's kind of sort of gone. If you saw last week's OnlyFans video, which I liked the joke of that, I did like the joke of that. A lot of people won't even know what OnlyFans is, I guess, so it might be lost on them. And the video wasn't put out there widely by YouTube or Google, whichever. But I enjoyed the pun, the joke of it. But it just started off with me standing in front of a mirror with kind of no tummy, there's loose skin over the top, but it's not. I don't have a protruding stomach, which is good, I guess. Anyway, back to bread and cake and my food delivery and the Breadpocalypse, which you will hear much more of as we go through the week, as we progress in this story. For those of you that haven't kept up or that are new here. And if you're new here, don't subscribe. Not yet, if you're new here. Wait until you've seen 2, 3, maybe 4 videos. From my point of view, it's bad for the algorithm if people arrive here and subscribe on their first video they see. Then on the second video realise that, hold on, why am I listening to this Tramp? What's this about? I wanted to see a tour of Torre Del Moro, or whatever. You know, you arrive looking for one thing, you hit subscribe kind of without seeing the rest of the content or knowing the background of the channel, and then you never watch another video. Well, that harms me, that harms my channel, so I'd rather you didn't that. And it leaves you receiving, alerts, updates every time I release a video that you're not interested in. So wait, hang fire. Make sure that I've got the personality that you actually want to listen to. That'd be a rarity. That's got rid of most of you, hasn't it? The rest of you, the 40 magnificent people out there that have already subscribed. One of you that was here last week has now unsubscribed. I saw that happen. My numbers dropped before recovering. And that's going to happen. That's going to happen. But the rest of you are now reconsidering, aren't you? You're all thinking, God, I subscribed on the first video I watched. Maybe I shouldn't be here. That's quite possible. That's quite possible, my friends. Think again. I'm not letting you go now. I've got you. Okay, Breadpocalypse. I can't remember the specifics of that particular video of how much bread, but most deliveries that they've made, God bless them for trying. Maybe there's a misunderstanding. Maybe they think that this big tent's got a... Maybe they think that there's me and a wife and a bunch of kids in here or something. Because they're bringing 3 and 4 baguettes each time. A couple of sliced loaves. 2 packs of bread buns each time. And cake. 4 times in 8 days. Oh, I've spoiler alert. I should have given spoiler alert. Because we're still on Monday, aren't we? I was only their second visit. Mind you, the title probably gives it away, doesn't it? The Breadpocalypse kind of thing. God, I hope they don't see this. They will think I am such an ungrateful bastard, won't they? I feel like that's what I'm being. But how's one man going to get through... I'll carry on with the spoilers now, I've already done it. How's one man going to get through... What number did we arrive on? 12, 13, 14 baguettes? Because he brought 4 sliced loaves just on Friday. The Friday just gone. Day before yesterday. 4 sliced loaves, along with a bunch of baguettes, some more buns, 2 lots of cakes, cinnamon rolls, and something with some sliced dried fruit, sliced apricot or peach. Very nice. Like I said, I eat the cake first. Hold on. Cheers. For future reference, these videos are probably going to be recorded on a Sunday evening each week and released probably Monday, like I said, mid to late morning. But they might be best watched in the evening when you can sit down yourself with a can of beer or a glass of wine and join in with me. Drink along. Cheers. And cheers to Damien for bringing me this wine. Our old pal Damien. We've heard a lot about him on this channel, haven't we? God, my life really changed just over a month ago, didn't it? In the middle of all those thunderstorms. When we had the kind of the predicted 2 weeks of thunder. Well, the rain was the bigger problem than the thunder and lightning, but Tina doesn't like that either. Okay, Breadpocalypse began. So that brought Monday to a close. I need to go back. I did just check my notes a minute ago, but I need to go back again. And we're back. Do you know, if I didn't tell you that I was going, I could probably just stop the video, go look at my notes, come back, start it again, and in the editing join them together and just do it like a quick fade or a quick track. You might not even notice. I don't know whether I should just stop telling you that I'm going to have to read my notes. It maybe looks unprofessional. Tuesday. That was a cookery video. I enjoyed that one. Eggy bread. Don't know if that's a regional term. That's what we call it where I'm from, in the north of England. Although we are aware of the other terms. French toast, Gypsy toast. Same thing. Take some bread. It doesn't have to be stale, but it can be. Crack some eggs into a bowl, whisk them up, splash of milk. Some people add a bit of butter or something, salt and pepper. Add any other flavourings you want, a bit of cinnamon if you want, or nutmeg or something, whatever. I know some people who've done it with like a curry powder thing and try and take it that direction. It's not where I would go with it. Sorry, itchy nose. But I enjoyed that video. I enjoyed making it. Yeah, no, I mean, I haven't got much to say on that. It was a fairly, well, it wasn't quick to do. It wasn't too bad. It's a fairly quick, fairly fun, just bang, bish bosh bang. I mean, I'm doing it in the middle of a field. I'm trying to do things one-handed because I'm holding the phone. And I haven't yet learnt to predict things in advance. So I'll often get to a point and then think, oh, I'm going to need both hands. Whereas maybe I could have undone a jar or taken the top off a packet or, you know. If I do those in advance before I start recording, then I can just pick up the pack and pour it, or pick up the jar and pour the contents, whatever it is. I'm learning. I'll get a bit more slick as time goes by. There's a certain charm to watching me fumble. Oh, there you go. I managed to keep it clean. There's a certain charm, I think, in watching me fumble my way through it. I think so anyway. When I watch it back, I quite like this guy on screen. I think me and him could be mates. We could be friends. I quite like the guy. I could take him for a pint. Yeah, that'd be good. I quite like this bloke. I don't know. There we are, though. That was Tuesday. I think because how did this work? One of the videos I set on a timer, and I stayed in camp that next day. I was just experimenting with YouTube features. I think called a premiere, where the video goes out and you can be in. There's like a live chat. So if other people are watching it live, you know, if they're watching it as it's released, as it premieres, they can ask questions and talk and chat. I didn't expect anyone would be there. I didn't give any notification in advance this was going to happen. It just happened. But I just wanted to be there and make sure that I was understanding the settings and the technology. Also, a lot of these features and a lot of what YouTube does isn't available directly through their app. And they expect you to load the YouTube site and the YouTube control panel kind of thing. They expect you to load that up on a proper computer and be doing things full size and they give access to more features on a proper computer than they do on a phone app. Now what I do to try and get around that is I try and load their website in a browser. So I do use their apps, but I try and go direct to the proper website, but if you're ever trying to control a full proper website on a phone screen, oh no, it's not always easy. I mean, do I want to reveal this about myself? Yeah, I guess so. I was a web designer for, I don't know, count the years, 15, 18 years, something like that. I mean, I did my first website back in 1994. Yeah, October or November of 94. So I've been doing web design one way or another for an awful long time. But I did it professionally. I don't know. Pick a year. I did it intensively, but as an amateur, from '99 onwards. Started a business doing it somewhere around 2004, 2005. It's part of an existing business, and then I expanded and became a limited company. 2008. So the web is my domain. There's an internet joke for you there, almost a pun at least. And websites didn't used to work on the early mobile phones. It was really, you'd have a separate website, a .WAP, wireless access protocol, I think that stood for mobile phones. And then there was the whole AOL debacle where they wanted you to have your website a certain way. And then there was a thing called Web TV where they again expected you to make a whole new separate website just for viewing on your television. And we all turned around en masse as the whole internet's worth of web designers and said, no, what you need to do is make our websites work on your technology. Don't expect us to go off and start making 3 or 4 different versions of every client's website for your different technologies and different platforms. So fun times indeed. That's a catchphrase of a bloke called That Umbrella Guy, or Tug, T-U-G, That Umbrella Guy. Check out his channel. He's big into men's rights and how the world has turned, or tried to turn, this wokeness and Me Too and believe all women. Don't get me wrong. You know, anyone makes an accusation has a right to be heard, but we can't automatically believe every accuser. That's not how trials work. So he spun off, he's big in that, and he got really in the weeds with the Amber Heard, Johnny Depp trials, plural, in Britain and in America. Fun guy, he's a fun guy to listen to. He's quite, you know, he's entertaining. Give him a try. That Umbrella Guy. Covers other things, the culture wars and just pop culture, new films, new TV series. A lot of what I watch online is to do with those related areas. How modern films have become rubbish. I don't know. This probably isn't the place for that. I won't spin off on that here. I don't think. Maybe. Maybe another day. Oh, one thing I said I was going to do last week and that I didn't do. Last week in this program last week. I said that I was going to do a post put out there asking for questions that I would answer. I don't know. I got caught up elsewhere. I didn't do that. But soon, sometime soon. Keep your eyes peeled. I will put out one of those community posts just asking people for, you know, what do you want to know? Like I said, not quite asking me anything, but almost. I'll do my best to be open and to tell you about me, my history, who I am, how I got here, why I'm living in the middle of a fucking field that floods, why I chose this field, why I don't move somewhere else knowing that it floods, and having been flooded out twice already. Yeah, we will answer these questions. Incidentally, we're on 40 subscribers. I've been looking into it. 50 subscribers, and I can apply for the ability to go live and do live, and then you can type questions like live chat it's called. We could try that. I've said previously that I don't think 50 is enough. We get 50 subscribers and they're not all going to be, well, they're not all going to be interested enough to watch something live. Even if they're interested, they're not all going to be available. You do need to have, for these things to not just die on their backside, you know, if the chat's scrolling up at one question every 10 minutes, that's a bit sterile. That's not good viewing for anybody. So I'm thinking that my ideal is that we get above 100 subscribers. But let's get to 50 and I can apply for the ability. So if you're watching this, if you've stuck this far, if you're wondering what, you know, if you've not given up on this old windbag, consider subscribing. Watch some other videos first. Make sure you've seen 3, maybe 4 of my videos before making that decision. But if you're there now, if you've watched 3 or 4 other videos and you're kind of thinking about it, then I'd like to get above 50 in a week's time. I'd like to be sat here saying, yes, we got there, and yes, I applied and I've been accepted for live streams, as they're called. That would be nice. The channels are, I'm not sure, are we on 3 or 4 weeks old? It's probably about 4 weeks old. I'm not sure exactly. I'm not sure exactly. It feels about that. I'll have to go back and look. Hold on. Dog's about to destroy the camp. She's just knocked over my entire coffee making area. Coffee, sugar, hot chocolate, all the jars, all the cups. There's cappuccino powdered things and sachets of dogs. Dogs. I love her a bit, but sometimes she's got no idea where I was. I was off on one. Subscribers, been on 40, trying to get to 50. Live streaming. Let's get that done if we can, yeah? That'd be good. You can help by spreading word of the channel. Pick a video, one of the not too embarrassing ones, and pump it out there on Twitter, Facebook, wherever else. I don't know the socials. I have Twitter and I have Facebook, but I don't actively use either. And I'm locked out of all of my real accounts from the before times. Yeah, I'm literally locked out of everything. And this could happen to anybody, you know. If you lose access to an email account or a phone and you're using a password manager, even when you know the individual passwords for the sites themselves, they're going to want to send a text message to your old phone. Yeah. How does that work? I mean, in my case, the backup system was that they would send emails to the email address on record, which was a personal domain name. You know, I owned about 100 domain names because of my business, but I had one that was literally just my name, my real world, my full name. First name, last name.co.uk. But because of the difficulties that I have, that domain expired and time passed and I didn't have a phone. And then when I did get a phone, you know, they'll try and send text messages to phones that you don't have anymore. Emails to domain names where you didn't pay the bill 9 months ago and it expired. All that good stuff. A warning to everybody out there. What happened to me is not impossible to happen to almost anybody. We'll cover that in full another time. It only needs 2 or 3 decisions to go the wrong way, 2 or 3 events to happen concurrently or in close proximity. Dog. Tina? Tina? Shush, darling. Tina? Hold on. Dogs. Okay, so that was just me saying, look. Bank screws up, bank goes wrong, bank gives you impossible situation. Family argument means that another way out of something can't happen. Some legal trouble happens because of some random arsehole in a bar one day. I'm not the random arsehole. But something happens, legal things happen, bang, bang, bang. Next thing you know, you're living in a field. Sounds crazy when you say it like that. Sounds crazy. But you would be amazed how quickly people can turn. Rumour mill. Once the rumour mill starts, oh, he's lying. Oh, it's not like that. No, no, there is no bank account. No, he doesn't have money. Suddenly, nobody wants to help. The people that were wanting to help or that did help are feeling pressured or feeling stupid that they did help. Anyway, let's get back on track with the week that was. That was the week that was. I think that was David Frost and Jonathan Miller and some others back in the 60s, 70s. TW3 they called it, didn't they? That was the week that was. Yeah, I'll cover Tuesday and Wednesday together because they kind of, there's a reason. So yeah, I did the Eggy, Tuesday did the Eggy bread, and afterwards we went up to the park and I tried doing a video of just an afternoon in the park, but I don't think there was anything. You've seen it. We went to the park, we set up, we sat down on the picnic blankets. It was nice, it was sunny, it was cool under a tree, and then we came home. I mean, I've done that video. You've seen that video. If you've not, go find it. I think there's 2 of them already. But on the way there, we set off to go to the park, and on the way I pass a bin, and next to the bin, not in the bin, not on the bin, but close by the bin, were these 2 bags, these 2 sealed plastic bags of bones with meat, with little bits of meat on them, clearly intended for, well, you could probably have boiled them up for a stock, but they looked more like they were intended for a dog, which is what I did. So I even though I was headed to the park, I got as far as that bin, and then I picked those up and just brought them back here and put them in the shade somewhere, and then had to walk back, you know, to go to the park. So the next day, we got up and usual morning routine. Took Tina for her walk. We sat on the top of the cliffs and probably did a few sea view shots and a little chat about what we had planned for the day or not planned for the day. Came back to camp and is that the right order? I'm not sure whether we went and did the walk and then the breakfast, or maybe we had the breakfast and then the walk. That might be the one. Breakfast was just Eggy bread again. It was just a repeat of the recipe video that we'd done the day before. Stop it. Stop. Tina. Let me go. Okay. Imagine a seamless edit there, and you had no idea that the dog just went off on one, barking at people passing by. So here I am mid-sentence, and I'll just carry on. I got no idea where I was. Fake it till you make it. Eggy bread for breakfast, cups of coffee, then the walk. I remember it now. Then the walk to the cliffs. Then we came back to camp and spent the day here. Just spent the day here, and off she goes again. So, and that's when I gave her the these bones, or half of one of these packs of bones. Tina shush. And then just filmed her a few times through the day, chewing on these bones, eating the meat off them, hiding them, taking them. She picks them up out of a bowl and slopes off somewhere to be alone with the bones so nobody else can take them. A couple of shots like that. Rest of the day in camp, and then the evening view from over on the cliff tops behind these trees over by the sea there. Which it's become, I never intended this, but the morning shot with the sea and me talking and saying what the plans are for the day, and then the closing shots with a sunset or a sea view and me reviewing what happened in the day or just generally talking off the cuff about whatever's on my mind. A little bit therapeutic. Probably not great for you guys to watch, I don't know. I don't know. But it seems to become a pattern on most of the videos. Not all, because not every day starts that way. For example, was that yesterday? We went and got water first thing in the morning. I carried, the last 2 days actually, not today, but Friday and Saturday we went and got water first thing. I had another one of the bags break on me. After I did a video calling them the king of shopping bags that can easily carry 16 kilograms, 16 litres of water. I've then had 2 break on me in, was it 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks? That's never happened before. But then I guess all the bags I've got are getting old, have been used and used and used. I guess. Yeah. So that was Wednesday, just staying in camp. Mine's gone blank, can't remember Thursday. Let me check. Back again. You might notice it's gone a little bit dark. I've had to put a light on. Is that wine in my beard? Yeah, I got a thing on my phone, it flashed up to say it was running out of disk space. So I had to spend a little bit of time, again, deleting all the videos from the last week. Again, I've kept the final video, the final product, but all of the clips that go into making it are gone. So there's no re-editing, there's no making them at a higher quality, better quality. They're gone. But we were about to talk about Thursday. Thursday is the day where I did a pan full of cup of soup cookery video. Where you take a cup of soup and instead of making 1 cup of soup, you make a pan full. And obviously the excess liquid needs thickening up, it needs something adding. And I took one of the baguettes, one of the dead breads, and broke it up and put most of that in. I gave a chunk of it to Tina, but it's not exactly much in the way of a recipe, is it? Use 5 times or 6 times the amount of water that the instructions say. Pour in the cup of soup, put in the bread, put in some salt and pepper, bang. But it makes a good pan full of filling hot food. After that, we filmed a kind of a full-on day in the life of video, excluding the cookery video. We went and we did the walk on the cliffs. Came back, it was stupid hot here. So I did a thing where I said, hey, it's really, really hot here. Let's go out, but instead of sitting in the shade in the park, let's go and sit in the sun. Which sounds crazy, it's a perverse thing to do. It's like exactly the wrong thing to do. Except it's not. Because on the cliff tops, you can sit in the sun, but you've got a breeze on you. And it, you know, as long as you don't get too much direct sun, which I have a tendency of doing. I mean, my nose is peeled. It's all sorts of different shades of black, brown and pink. But that's not from that day, that's just from life in general. But we filmed that day in the life of. We went and we sat on the cliff tops and just parked there for the basically the rest of the day, or that was the intention. I took my solar panels, I put the solar panel out, I had my phone, I charged my phone. I don't know, did I take the radio, or maybe I just listened to something off the phone. I read a few chapters from my book, and that was it. We were going to be there. We were going to be there till the evening. But then somebody left a comment on the previous day's video, and I got an app that tells me when someone leaves comments. For now, while there are so few of you, won't be possible later on. But yet someone said, "Hey, we've just been to your camp. We brought Tina some treats and left Dean a couple of cans of beer." Oh, so I thought I'd come back and try and rescue the beer before it got too warm. So guys, if you want to check out these guys, they're called Torrevieja_channel on YouTube. Torrevieja_channel. Mark and Jeff, the two gents that came. I'm trying to reach out to them at the minute. I need to talk to them about something. If you're watching, guys, if you can get back in touch with me, I gave the email address earlier. Delta Mike Torrevieja@gmail.com. If you can get in touch with me either through a comment here or preferably an email. I need to ask you something. I'm wondering if you lost something that day. We'll say no more for now, but contact me. Oh, that's the day while I was there I had a rant, didn't I? Yeah. As we arrived, before we'd even sat down on the chairs, there was a dog running loose that looked like it was about to approach Tina, which is always a bit iffy. Tina's quite a temperamental, she always has been quite a temperamental dog. She was mistreated when she was younger. Yeah. I won't go into details, but she was badly treated, and also now that she's in the situation, living with me in the situation I'm in, she's become quite territorial, quite protective. Anyone approaching me, people or dogs, she's on edge. She doesn't just wait for dogs and then do the sniffing thing, and she tells them to go away first. Only occasionally does she whimper and want to get to know them. And anyway, this dog was running around loose. Looked like it was going to come over, but then its owner shouted it back, and it did as it was told, and it went back to him. Then another dog was nearby him, and his dog went to that dog. And the police, seeing a dog running around loose, just had to intervene, didn't they? His dog wasn't causing a problem. If we shouted it back, it would have come back. But no, the police just had to make their presence felt. And I watched the video. I have a little rant, just like I did just now. But anyway, yeah. So at the end of the day, we got the message. We came back, and I had to get those beers. The guys said that when they'd left them, they were cold. But it's Spain, you can't leave things out too. Things don't just stay cold, do they? So when I got them, they weren't hot, they weren't warm, but they were, they were tepid. Tina, what you doing, babe? Making a lot of noise. There she goes again. So that was Thursday. With the whole video, the day in the life of video, did really well. That got up to nearly 100 views in the first day or so. Well, maybe 80 or 90 again in the first day. And then just stalled out again. It goes nowhere. Yesterday, I have a Twitter account. I don't know whether I've put this in the descriptions and things. If you want to take a look, I mean, it's not, at the minute it does nothing. It's just pointers to some of these videos. It's Delta Mike Torre, Torre. There's a limit on the length of a name in Twitter. You can't be Delta Mike Torrevieja. That's too many. You've got I think it's 14 characters, which landed just right. Delta Mike Torre was exactly on the nose. So Delta Mike Torre. You know, come along, sign up, help me promote things, retweet some of the links. Let's, you know, maybe help me get the word out. The more people see the videos, the more people get a chance to think about subscribing or hitting the thumbs up. Guys, this video, if it's any good, I know it's not, do us a favour, lie, hit the thumbs up anyway. And shh, don't tell YouTube you lied, or that I asked you to lie. Shh, that's not allowed. So that was Thursday, the day in the life of video. Friday, I don't think I did any. Didn't do a video. I just stayed in the camp, I think. Did I? Yeah, I don't know. There's no video from then, so I assume nothing special happened. Sometimes I go out and I do film bits, and at the end of the day there isn't a story to tell. There isn't a video there, so I end up just deleting those. A couple of times I've gone to the park, and like I say, it's just, hey, I'm at the park. Hey, it's just like the last time I was at the park. Hey, now I'm going home. What do you do? It's not, there's no story there. So yeah, that was Friday. I just need to check something. Oh, sorry folks, I've got no idea how well, itchy nose. I got no idea how well this picture is gonna be picked up. While I've been videoing, it's gone totally dark on me, hasn't it? Totally. I've taken so long, and with my the brightness on my screen's up full. The screen's on all this time, recording and doing the. I'm losing so much power on the phone. Was that Friday? Oh, I think it might have been. Was that Friday? While I was in camp, I think it was. I'm gonna tell you this as if it was Friday, not Saturday. I think it was Friday. While I was, so not much happened Friday, but while I was in camp all day, a car pulled up, and there was a couple there, and the gent got out and handed me a shopping bag with a bottle of water and a couple of cans of cola. But that wasn't their main reason for coming to the camp. Was to bring me a power bank. So I was just discussing how I'm running down power on the. That's what reminded me. I like to finish the day on about 70% power on the phone, if I can get that high from the solar panels. Somewhere between 60 and 70 is good enough. 50 I'll make do with, and that gets me through the night. So lets me use the screen for a few hours, do the video editing, the uploading, maybe watch a few videos, and then just switch to audio to preserve, because the screen is the biggest user of power. In the day in particular, when the brightness is up full, I'll use 10% battery power per hour in daylight, and still not be able to see a bloody thing. That's a high cost in terms of battery power. But no, they brought me this power pack, a battery pack. What do you call them? The USB power bank. That's the word. Because all of mine are, well, 2 of my 3, the 2 big ones are dead, and the 3rd one is dying. But yeah, no, it's fantastic. Superb. Better than any, I mean, it's more modern than any I had before. It's better than any I had before. It looks to be higher capacity than even the larger ones I had would have been, had they been working. And it's fantastic. People's generosity, things like that. So that really, I was lucky that I stayed in camp that day. Unlike Saturday, where I went out of the camp. Had a little, had a day in the park. I did a separate little video where I was tickling Tina's tummy. She started rolling over in the grass as we arrived. So I tickled her tummy and tried to do a video. One hand holding the camera and one hand tickling her tummy. It's not the best video in the world. And YouTube knows that and I haven't shown it to anybody. But you plug away. I did it as a short, I think. No, I didn't. Technically a short has to be done in portrait. I did this in landscape, I think. So it's just a short video, but not a short. But we had the afternoon in the park and nothing much happened. So I don't think I really did anything. I didn't do, there's no day in the life of, there's no video of, I don't think I've kept any video of me in the park except for tickling Tina's tummy. But then we got back here and there were 2 carrier bags, and we've already discussed Breadpocalypse, but this is where it really hit me. So far, prior to Saturday, from Friday when they first arrived on the scene, this family have brought me 11 baguettes and multiple loaves of bread and multiple bags of buns. And it's been too much for one man and his dog. But I got back Saturday and I feel like such an ingrate. But what am I meant to do with 4 loaves of bread, 3 baguettes, 2 packs of bread buns and 2 packs of cake? What do I do with that in the 2 days before they come back again with the next lot? I mean, that's been the problem at each stage with this. In a typical week, see, the garage here used to throw bread away at night. They at the end of the night, any unsold bread some of the staff take it home, some of them just throw it straight in the bin, some of them put it in a bag next to the bin. And sometimes other people get it before I do. But if I'm lucky enough and the bread's there, and sometimes there's donuts and other things as well from the garage. 3 baguettes and some donuts or a bit of cake or whatever would do me. That's fine for the week. What are you going to do with more than 3 or 4 baguettes? What are you going to do with 11? What are you going to do when you've already had 11 and they bring you 3 more? And 4 loaves of bread and 2 bags of bread buns. Is this how Jesus did it? He went into the desert with 3 or 4 loaves and 2 fish or something? Or have I got the numbers the wrong way around? This is what I did. I arrived in the wilderness with no bread or fish. But now I've got enough bread to feed the flaming 5,000. It feels that way anyway. I don't know. Breadpocalypse. Breadpocalypse. I can hardly walk in my tent. I mean, I'm a disorganised mess anyway at the best of times. I must have five bags of food in there, and 4 of them are bread, I think. I don't know. God, I must sound like such an ingrate. I might have to shorten this or edit it or cut bits out. And those guys, I mean, here's the thing. It's not cheap bread. It's a ciabatta loaf. Ciabatta, I don't know how you say it. But you know, I just call it a posh bread. It's not the €1 or €1.25 family loaf from Mercadona. Some of these are €2 and €3 loaves. I must sound like such a whiny bitch. Something moving out there. I'm hoping it's a person and not a rodent. I hope it's not a rodent. We don't want them back again. Had a real problem here for a couple of months. And then 3 or 4 weeks ago, nothing. I mean, I would be sat here listening to multiple... They'd be vectoring in on different vectors. They would be approaching on different paths, and you'd hear them moving around, and all night you'd hear them. And then they'd run through the fucking shelter that I was in, or you'd look and they'd be on a shelf. And now I've got bags of bread just sat there. Have to have a sort out tomorrow. Anything that's already gone stale and that I can't come up with an idea of what to do with, I'll have to go. It has to. Otherwise it's a magnet for vermin. I don't know, guys. I mean, that's the week. No, that was the week that was. There was a new section I was going to add, but I think I've gone on too long right now. I need to learn to trim down and keep on topic and less tangents. Next week I'm going to do it might be a separate video, or it might be a section within this, detailing some of the podcasts I listen to, or YouTube videos, YouTube channels that I follow, why I follow them, and maybe give a few clips of, you know, a few little snippets, little examples, not wanting to plagiarize their content or anything, but just to show you what I like and why I like it. Help you get to know me a little bit better. And give you some ideas maybe of, you know, of the YouTube channels that you could at least consider. Give a watch, give a you know, give them a bit of consideration at least. That's the idea anyway. I don't know, it's going to be a series. I don't know whether it's chunks within this show or whether it's a separate show. Air quotes. Don't you hate people that do air quotes? And I'm doing them one-handed because the other hand is holding the phone. I cup the phone so that my hand captures the sound and bounces it into the microphone. Gives you if I take my hand away, here's the difference. Without my hand, with my hand. Bloody hope you can hear a difference now, otherwise I've sat here with my hand there for 2 hours for no reason. Okay, guys. That was Saturday. Do I cover Sunday? It's pretty much the same. Went to the park today. There's nothing much to report. It was a day at the park. And then I came home, I put some potatoes on the grill, on the barbecue. Ran out of gas on the mini on the stove, and chatted with you guys for, well, was it it was sunrise when we started, wasn't it? And it's now gone dark. It's been a day. Okay, folks, I know nobody's here. You probably nobody. YouTube tells me that on average people watch about 4 minutes. Okay. For that one person who watches and keeps the average up and everyone else is left after 10 seconds, I thank you. Maybe see you again next week if you hit that subscribe button. And if I have any disk space left on the phone. Bye for now, guys.